What's up guys, Cole here. So a lot of people asking me for the Bing build. This time I share with you guys about the Bing build. Why I make this build is all because of getting the pack. Like I already get the pack. And this is a 2-star. I'm working to the 3-star to clear the boss fight. And my rank is like 3430 on the dragon. Now it's at 32. So why we use Bing? Bing, we need around 20k frame area to 30k frame area. Around, yeah. So for me is like all this is not all top-notch equipment. The legendary is all top-notch. Yeah, not all those that is cost very high. Like for this helmet, right? These have to search for 80. Now it's at 39 only. But if you get it with this, it will be expensive, like 1000. For this chest, right? This increase our damage, but it reduce our skill radius. If it's an uncorrupted one, this reduce our damage, but not our radius. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 FX is much better than the 5th FX corrupted. If you get the 5th FX corrupted, your skill area you reduce even smaller. So if you are like running input for Brave or the mapping, all that, the projectile from the barrage is very small, so it's hard to hit the enemy. Get these if you can, right? The 4th and the 5th FX, if it's a double corrode, then you'll be better, but you need Eternity. Eternity give us a lot of skill radius, but I will find that Eternity is too expensive in SS6 season, so I didn't recommend anyone go for that. For this, I just use this. It's enough already. And for the Howling Wind, right? Because I want to kill the boss and try to get 175 and above range attack critical strike rating. Depend whether you want to get this crit. This is like the price went up, or you want to get this critical strike. The best is to get like 250. These are 899. I rather get the critical strike, but this help for us to kill the pirate, stage 20 pirate. And if you watch my last video, I killed the pirate. I thought that maybe if it still keep going on, maybe I would die. But just now it left 50% life, and then it just instant kill it. So for the Ghost Slaughter, I cloned this myself. It's best that if you can get a mark here, you'll be the best. And for Ghost Slaughter, right, we need the 2nd FX. The skill area, try to get like 35 and above or 40 and above skill area. This so that you will like cover up this loss. And for the belt, I have 2 belts. So this is the old belt that I'm using when I clear the stage level 20 bosses, because I need critical strike rating, and this give me critical strike rating. I was going to get max channel stack, but I didn't get it. I get the low mana and reduce damage taken when at low mana. These 2 barrage is needed, and then resistant. So like this one, I also upgrade my resistant, but I got no luck upgrade the rest. So it's like the belt, right? The base FX and the Sweet Dream FX try to get barrage. Like these 2 get barrage. And then this part, right? It's like neither the ultimate FX, neither critical strike rating against traumatize, reduce damage, or max channel stack. Minimum channel stack also help. Like these 4 FX, you can try and see if you can get it. Yeah, critical strike, like 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4, whichever is T1, you can just use it to save your frame value for crafting. That's what I will do. And the bottom, the suffix is fixed, these three. Like the lightning and fire is really depend on your ring, this ring, burning eyes. A lot of people, they just get the you cannot inflict freeze because this is cheap, but if you add the cold and erosive resistance, it will be expensive. Now it's like so freaking expensive. So if you get the T1 FX, that is like 20 something. So under your belt, you need to get T0 lightning and fire. Under the shoe here, you need to get T0 cold and erosive. Neither T1, I think T1 is enough. For cold and erosive, if T1 is enough. Like for my resistance, yeah, it's not full yet, but I still can kill the bosses. Like that time is I equip this. Oh yeah, so it's because of I was trying to get my T1 on the fire resistance here, but I didn't get it. So this part is to get the suffix is just to get resistance. This critical strike rating is not really needed because we can get it on here, but we need a T0. So I got it on the boots, then I lazy to change it because my resistance don't care. I just don't really die much. And for the boots, right, the prefix energy shield is a must, and then the physical skill level. So this part, neither dex, projectile speed, physical skill level. So these three, but projectile speed give more damage, so I change it to physical skill level because I want to change my slate. So I recraft the projectile speed to get the physical skill level. So just get dex, like neither T1 to save your flame melee, T1 dex, projectile speed, or physical skill level. And then for the ring also barrage. If you want, you can get element destruction curse. Mostly depend on which route you go. You can be pure physical damage, lightning, cold, fire. Just choose one. For me, I go for cold. For me, I go for cold damage. So for under the ring here, neither max energy shield or damage. I'm trying to get T1 on the element penetrate. On the suffix, right? These three we don't get any resistance, so our resistance only can be get it on the neither on the ring, on the belt, and on the boots. So the ring we go for critical strike rating and critical strike damage. I'm also trying to get T1 on the critical strike damage. Faber try to upgrade to T0. And for weapon, base effects, projectile quality +1, and then the 2 projectile quality +1. My cold resistance is not enough because here I reduce minus 21% cold resistance. So try not to get anything that is negative to your resistance, dex, projectile quality. If it's reduced attack speed is also not really good. Like minus tendency blessing, focus blessing, all that. And or the best is get minus minion life or minion damage. Like even like minus mana, max health is much better than reduce our resistance. And for the weapon, right, before I clear the when I clear the boss, I'm using this weapon. I use this weapon to clear the boss because now I have enough damage. When you have enough damage, the chance to deal double damage is not really that good anymore. When you have enough damage. And this is the old one. I use dexterity, chance to gain double damage. But if I want to get more critical strike, because my belt changed, I use another belt. So I need to get more critical strike. So I change my double damage to armor penetrate. This give more damage. And then attack critical strike rating. Remember that attack critical strike rating for this gear is much better than critical strike rating. Critical strike rating don't really give us a lot of critical strike. So for armor, right? Can I upgrade? Okay. So for this is to like I'm close to like I only left ultimate effects them. So like gear physical damage, armor penetrate, and then physical damage to gear, attack critical strike rating, critical strike damage, attack gear attack speed. Like this is the best effects for the barrage. Second is the last weapon, the legendary weapon. So we need to get projectile skill level here, need a +3, a high attack critical strike rating, and a high additional damage for main hand. 48% and above. We don't need the corroded. The corroded will become jointed force. I don't think we need jointed force. So for me, it's like this is like 50%. So it's like 500 now. Now it's like the price go up. So sometimes you can get cheap one. If you can get like a corroded one, but this will be expensive. So it's like around 175, yeah. Around 175 you can get 280. So that this is 48 to 50%, and then the 175 to 80, and then go search for it. Most of the time you can get the cheap one. I got my 400. Those that sell right now is like cheap because a lot of people they clear the boss stage level 20. After they clear it, they sell all their equipment and then go play another hero. That's what I know. That's why there's always cheap bin barrage item on the market. Because most people, why they go for bin is because they want to clear the stage boss, the Supreme Showdown. Like me, right now I'm trying to get 3-star. After I get 3-star, I will sell everything and then I will go play another build. Like mostly mapping build, because this build is not really good for mapping. And then next is the hero memory. Hero memory, I go get +2 hero trait level. That time I bought it is cheap because this part it gives projectile quality +3. 1, 2, 3, yeah, +3 quality. Okay, so this increase, but I should go for Dex, but that is expensive because I found this damage, attack, block chance, and hero trait level. So I bought it cheap. It's like 300 or 400. I don't remember. I think it's around 500. So if you can't get the hero trait level, try to get Dex or damage, and then get attack, block chance, or spell block chance. At the bottom is all critical strike damage. That's why we need a high critical. For me, I rather go for equipment there, get high critical strike rating, and then here get critical strike damage. This part is like I think it's T3. Yeah, I run out of my memory thread epic. All this I fuse up myself. The second I go for armor. The memory of discipline, we can go for armor, evasion, or max energy shield. Spell block chance. Try to get spell block chance. That time I bought this also very cheap, like a T1 spell block. I'm not sure why no one wants to use it. And then this part is the physical skill critical strike damage, and this part is attack block. I got the T0. So my defense is using attack and spell block chance 100%, so that whenever I block, I can regen my life, having this legendary medium talent. So this hero memory of progression. Some people get attack speed. I go for movement speed. So whichever is cheap, the base effect, whichever is cheap, go for it. Like we need spell block chance or attack block chance. So you have to go add it up and see how much that you really need. So this one I'm just lazy to change. I need to go farm the memory thread. And that is the hero trait. Hero trait, right? We only focus on this one, the hero trait level. The other two, we don't do any damage. We don't do any bomb damage. How Bing gain damage is from the Blast Nova right at the bottom. +1 additional attack projectile damage for every 1% additional attack speed. The more additional attack speed we get, the more attack projectile damage we get. So the one main effects is this one. 10% additional attack speed if you have dealt a critical strike recently. That's why we need to get critical strike very high, around 35% and above. The highest the better is like 50 or 75% is the best critical strike rating. It's like everything I just copy this. This part I copy the favor, no choice. Okay, and like I will talk about the talent. The core talent we use determined. Some if you are at pure physical damage, people use brutality, but I don't use these two. I find that determined help me survive much more better than the other two damage. And then we must have a favor, like damage, like you can just follow what I listed down. This part don't really need it. You can get physical skill level here, this part. But I didn't get it because I want to get extra damage. I get this part. If not this, increase the and decrease on knockback, increase our attack damage, right? This part we have to add it into here, attack and spell block. So you must have attack and spell block 100% before you can remove this 6 point. I remove this 6 point and add it into the knockback here. So yeah, so it's like even this point you have to release some of it to get the attack and spell block. And I didn't get the physical skill level here. So this you can adjust it yourself. And then second one we go for ranger shooting arrow, and then the keep it out. It makes energy shield, critical strike, projectile damage, projectile speed. Projectile speed give a lot of damage. And then this is for defensive. This part favor effect, critical strike damage, and then the knockback. Warlock, we can get indifference, all skill level, and then off the beaten track. So it's like, yeah, here, attacks and cast speed. You need the base attack and cast speed. Mostly it's the attack speed. This part we doesn't have attack speed. We need a base attack speed so that when we multiply the additional one, our attack speed will be very high. This chance to cast alignment, this we have to use 6 point to add into this so that our number effect can stack into tank 1-0. Yeah. So this part is a must. This 6 point must put it in. Energy shield regain for survive. This part you also have to get it. This help a lot in survive. And this part is all skill level. This to increase movement speed. When we kill an enemy, we gain blur. Blur can give us some avoid damage. This part I didn't get element resistant. So for the slate, right, why we use burning eyes? Burning eyes say here you cannot inflict freeze, right? We cannot inflict freeze. We can't freeze the enemy. So when we use winter here, every 2 frostbite the enemy have, and you look at this one. The enemy, like mostly the longer the boss fight, we can stack frostbite to 300. When the frostbite reach 300, the winter here we can get 150% additional damage to the enemy. So winter and burning eyes is a very good combo. That's how the damage that I get. And this part, try to get great strength, but the price went up. It was still cheap a few days ago. It was at 1,200 1,005. Now it's 1,009. I'm not sure why the price go up. It was very cheap, so I'm not really sure. You can use Fallen Leaf, but Fallen Leaf will reduce our damage, 20% damage. Another one is No Loose End. Yeah, No Loose End, you have to go check it out. If you can't find cheap one, you can think of using Fallen Leaf. But I can say, like Trade Off we can use, Fallen Leaf we can use, but the damage is not good. Like Trade Off, the price go up because this is 25% additional attack speed. So this is very expensive. For now, try to get something increase our damage with Winter. So right now the Spark, when Spark set the Ablaze, now it's very cheap, like 1,004 you can get one. Just get this, is a very strong thing, and it can multiply a lot of attack, additional attack speed. It can multiply a lot. This one is, I use this because it's cheap. If you can find someone sell a cheap one, when the attack speed is at bottom, try to snap it, try to get it. Like for on my Twitch channel, right? Pogi get 2 of these. Like he just buy 2 of these because it's cheap. What did I sell? Oh, so like you can get it, and go calculate your attacks. This part, attack skill level. If you doesn't have enough attack skill level, you can go buy one and then use it. Attack skill level. If you need to multiply, if you need to copy it, you can buy the bottom one. That's what I used to get it, but I changed it into the critical strike damage. So when you buy, you can look if someone lists it up cheap, then you can buy it. This part I get the. I'm not sure if this is available. 700 is still cheap. 700 is still cheap because the spell skill level, the spell skill used recently and give us crit damage is at bottom. When it's at bottom, we can't copy it, so that's why it sell cheap. That time I bought mine is like 1,000. And this part I use a spark. I call this small spark. This one I call it big spark. So the spark copy the additional attack speed. This part also copy this side attack speed. This copy this side attack speed. So everything is like I copy a lot of attack speed. And then for the convert, right? Neither physical damage. Lightning, cold, or fire. Just choose one. Like cold always run out. A lot of people just buy cold. You can go for lightning, but lightning is always expensive. Oh, that's cheap one. But you need to get these at bottom, so it's at 288. Now it's like so cheap. Damn. That time I didn't go for lightning is because it's expensive. Now it's cheap. You can think of it. If there's no cold damage on the market, you can try to get the lightning or fire. Lightning or fire, maybe here the great strength, you can see maybe can increase lightning damage or fire damage. And this one I get the favor rating for critical strike damage. And this is the thing that I get. So these can be flexible. It's not that you already must get these. You must go look it out in the trade. What can we get? What can we use? So now I have 300 stack. So I start. One second. I reach the cap. Yeah, 1 second I reach the cap. Right now I test my damage is around 9 to 10 trillion damage. Like we cap at 1. This is 1 trillion. So I'm at 9 to 10 trillion damage. And there's one thing that I didn't say. I have a DPS pack. DPS pack give me a lot of attack critical strike rating. And this part, I have this for the max channel stack. So if you don't have the attack critical, if you don't have the DPS pack, your damage will be maybe 7 trillion or 8 trillion damage. And this season, the Barrage, right? The Barrage really give a lot of damage. Like, a lot of people find that this is a bug. This skill 150% additional attack speed. This additional attack speed can be added up into here. That's why Bing with Barrage is OP is because of that. The 150% additional attack speed can add into here. When we have the attack speed, we have the attack projectile damage. This is why it's OP. We don't even need to throw any bomb. We can get a lot of damage. And just that SD didn't nerf this skill because not much people play Bing, and yeah, not much people like to play Bing because first you need to use a micro to channel. If you don't use a micro, like when you map, you have to always like shoot out, like you have to manually fire off. This is annoying. So you have to use a micro. So about micro, don't use any third-party software micro. We can only use built-in mouse micro or built-in keyboard micro, like Razer mouse, Closer mouse, Logitech mouse. When you use that, you will not get banned from the game. If I know that in season 1 or season 2, some player they use auto hotkey, you will get banned if you use auto hotkey. Even if you do nothing with auto hotkey, you will still get banned if you open it up at the background. So to set up the program, you have to go. It's like around 250 ms for me for 7 stack. Now this one is 9 stack. 9 stack is around. You have to go. Everyone is different. Like Logitech is the MS is much more higher. I'm not sure why. My MS is very low. It's at 250 or 280. So you have to go adjust, and then whenever you fire off your Barrage, you need to be at 9. For me, it's 9 maximum stack. So always have to be max channel stack, and then you fire it off. So you have to go play around with your micro. Mobile user, unless mobile user you have the controller that have micro, you can use that also. You can use the Barrage and set it up. Some player they use the micro one, use the controller micro, but my controller have no micro, so I can't use my controller. I only can use mouse and keyboard. So for mobile user, it's a bit harder to play this Barrage. And then next is the skill, right? Skill for the Barrage. When we have enough critical strike damage, we can change to the Tender Slicer. When we have enough. Some player, they get it here, like get Rebirth. And then with the critical strike damage. Attack Focus is not really good if you get it on Candle. It's because of the critical strike rating unlucky. You need to get 75 to 100% critical strike rating so that your critical strike for the attack focus on the Candle will not become unlucky, I think. So I don't use attack focus at all. Some player they use Nova Shot. Nova Shot give damage, but you can look here, it reduces your skill area. That's why I don't use Nova Shot. Right now, I mostly use the critical strike damage because my critical strike damage is still not enough. I need to upgrade these. And the link is like the bombardment, quick decision, guard, channel preparation. if your belt here get minimum channel stack +1 or +2, if it become +2, you can remove these and add the tender slicer, nova shot, attack focus, that depend on your build. If not, like this is how we link it. And then the other one is the element destruction. We don't need to add any point to it, like we don't need to use these. Like I just go buy these. You can buy a cheap one. Just get a cheap one and then let the element destruction to always fire off. Like if I add the effect, yeah. So the element destruction will always fire off at the boss. Yeah, this one is annoying, the effect, so I off it. For boss fight, fixed state, this one is reduce the cooldown, additional cooldown recovery speed. But most of the time when I fight the stage level 20 boss fight, I go for this. You can use multiple strike, demolisher, and get a high cooldown recovery speed to reduce the cooldown for the blink. This part we need to get magic dash. I use this to kill the stage 20 bosses, and then use the aim. Aim here, just get the activation medium preparation. Either use prepare or use the. There's another cheap one. The cheap one is the. When you move around, is which one? Is it start? Start and stop. This one is upon starting to move. It should be this one. And then get the 35% additional cooldown recovery speed. Because this one is cheap. This is very cheap. You can just get the neither cooldown or duration. Cooldown will be expensive. If you get duration, it will be much cheaper. Yeah, duration is much cheaper. And for aim, right? Aim, you just need to get the duration. You'll never run out of duration. When you have enough of it, you can add Wellforge. But I don't really like to use Wellforge. When you increase the effect, you increase the minus movement speed. That's why I didn't get any. I didn't use the Wellforge. So for the Thunders, right now almost everyone is using Thunder Spike because we need to get numbed to stack out numbed. So we need to get instruction or trade. So this one you go depend. Mostly is 0.4 and below. 0.4 and below. See whichever you can afford. And then I get Harden. Harden is a very good reduced damage. Minus 25% additional damage taken. And then we get these Thunder Spike Numb. For every numbed stack, like we can get the stack up to 8. I test it out, can get unto 10. But mostly the stable is around 8 and 9. This is one of the best defense and offensive. Defense and offensive together. Just need to get the activation medium. And for skilling, right, this is not needed. So acuteness in butt, additional physical damage. Here you have to, how do I say it? Before you can use all these, try to go buy them and use it. Like this one is to be around 900, 600 to 900. Or right now I'm not really sure how much it sell. And the precise seal convention is around 900. This is around 600. So you have to go invest into it. Before you can use this, you can use the normal one. But the normal one, your health and you can't use so much aura. Yeah, you need at least one precise seal convention. So you need at least one to open up 2 aura, 1 aura and 1 inbut on your life. And then this one I switch back. So for our aura, the precise weapon application, selfishness. If you don't have enough, you don't get it. Some player they use this when you are like fighting bosses. You can use this. But I already bought these. Stand as 1 is the best, but stand as 1 use a lot of suited mana. And why I go for cold is because I want to use precise concentrated. This only affect character when they have less than 2 aura. So this is the aura to character. This is the aura to character, but precise freak domain is not aura to character. This is aura to enemy. So we can use 3 aura and link them with concentrated. Yeah. This increase a lot of damage. Another one is like precise selfless to increase the aura, but minus 90% additional aura effect received from the support skill. We don't gain anything from here. This is not aura to character, it's aura to enemy. If you don't have the precise selfless, you can link the restraint here. So it's to be linked like this. Like if this one is the life is still at 22%. So you have to, there's a few things that we need to get is the aura. Because these 3 aura give us a lot of damage. So you need to invest your flame alley into this part. Yeah. For me is I use this area and I get the restraint. Normal restraint I get 42%. For me right now I'm leveling up this. I want to sell it. So this is 47. I'm trying to level this up and sell it. So don't follow mine on this one. Even if I put it out in on the build code there, don't follow what I'm using. And then the last one is the candle. I use max channel stack and then rebirth because it was cheap. That time my belt doesn't get max channel stack. Another one is I get the chance, 20% chance to gain 1 stack of any blessing. And then with another one is the max channel stack. This part you can neither get extra curse, then under the ring you must get element destruction. And then here you can use the biting core. So it's best. I think that extra curse is much better than add this physical damage. And like under here, right, rebirth will convert the life regain and energy shield regain become restoration over time. So when we add some regeneration, life regen, our life will always regen because of close slaughter will always consume our life and energy shield. So our life and energy shield always drop. And because of the rebirth, both of them will always generate out. Like they always regen. And oh, it's like fuck man, I already say so long already. And I think that's it. This is another long video. So because there's too much thing to say, I don't want people mess up. Like some of the effects is because I can't get it. It's not that I don't want to use it. So like under the build code, I will share these two. The 8 trillion damage is the one that I used to clear the boss, but 8 trillion damage is I added this. I got DPS pack. So to kill the bosses, what I know is try to get T0. All these damage effects, you have to get T0. Like the gear physical damage, critical strike damage, you have to get T0. This part I only get a few things that is T0. And that basically it. If you find that this guide is useful, give me some like and subscribe the channel. Thank you guys for watching. See ya. Bye bye.